Good afternoon, friends and neighbors in Hapeville and beyond. It is a gorgeous day here in town. We've had like a week or more of just absolutely stunning, beautiful fall weather. And so today I couldn't resist getting out and taking a walk. It's going to be a repeat of where we've been before, but maybe there'll be minor changes. So let me flip this around. In addition to the beautiful weather, what has compelled me to take a walk is I was driving down Old Jonesboro Road the other day, and I happened to see on the little property that used to be the home there, that used to be Bevel's Bait Farm, that sold fish bait for fisher peoples. I think back in the 50s and 60s, maybe even into the 70s. They've cleared that property out and you can actually see the little pond. So I thought I'd walk by and check that out. I'm on Walnut Street right now. This house it's odd to see for sale by owner, but I think I've showed the house. It's a few houses down from where I live. It's been empty for a while, $479. The renters that were here, the owner made them leave, and he's been trying to sell it. And interestingly, I checked it out and a developer bought it and then sold it to another developer, but I don't know what happened, but it must have fallen through. But my guess is that these two lots are going to be snapped up and this house will definitely be, I feel like it's going to get raised and they're going to do what they did there and build a couple new builds here. Because it's uncommon to see a house on such a big piece of property because, people want to cram a couple houses on and make their money, which I can't say I wouldn't do if I had that opportunity, so who's to judge? But I love this house and I wish that it would be saved and renovated because it's adorable. But you never know. You never know. All right, so we're at Wheeler Street and Walnut Street right now. And let's walk over to Old Jonesboro Road and see that property I was talking about. That's looking north on Wheeler. A little family of Chihuahuas over there that love to say hello whenever I'm walking by. Here's 472 with a big, beautiful tree in the front yard. The owner told me the name of that type of tree, but I forgot what it is. 468, it's backlit, so it's hard to see that side of the street this trip. I think I've showed these to you before. These are original houses at 467 and whatever that is. But 463 was renovated about 5 years ago, and then this was all empty. Whatever houses were there were taken out, and now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new builds here. Here's 460. It's nice out. I'm having to take a walk because many of you probably know that I'm a performer. That's my profession. Here's 456. And I've been doing it for more than 30 years, but that does not mean that I don't get nervous whenever I have to perform. And tonight, Douglas and I have a performance. And it's in a space that I know. We're sold out. So it's all good. I love this mid-century modern house at 449 Walnut. But I've got to get into makeup this afternoon. Douglas is starting his now. And then I got to get into mine, and I don't particularly like sitting in the makeup chair because you got to sit still for an hour or more to get the makeup on. Douglas does the makeup for me. I never learned how, but the whole process makes me nervous. The nerves go away as soon as I have the microphone in my hand and we're in front of the people. So that'll happen tonight. Here we are at Walnut and Old Jonesboro Road. So we're gonna walk down Old Jonesboro. This house is 437. It's interesting because the mailbox is over there, but I think it's 437 Old Jonesboro Road. I found an article from the mid-30s where a newlywed couple were welcomed in the newspaper to their home at 437 Old Jonesboro Road, and there it is. An older fellow lives there. He owns some of the properties that we just passed. And he's got all of this on a corner lot. Like he's sitting on a gold mine as far as development goes right now. And I don't know him, but I've always found it fascinating that he seems to have no interest in selling it. I think he's in his 80s. He's very active. I always see him at his other properties. Here's 3271, a new build, and then the back of the ones we just passed. You all recognize that apartment complex that I've showed several times at Dorsey and Old Jonesboro. I always remember that that's 441. And in my research, I found that back in the 30s, oh, speaking of which, look at, you see that a lot around town, the sewer system, the old original manhole covers say 1937. But on this property, there was an artesian spring. Hapeville was known for its beautiful clear water, clean air, birds, fruit trees. Back at the turn of the 19th to the 20th century and well into the 20th century, that was what folks from Atlanta would move down here for. Here we are at the corner of Lake Drive. Here's 441 Lake Drive. And then looking north. No, not north. That's north, so that's east. That was looking east. That's 3254. Huge single family home. I always find it interesting how this used to be enough. And we ended up switching into bigger is better over the decades. Here's 3251 Old Jonesboro Road. Whenever I take a walk up to this property that used to be Bevel's Bait Farm, I always realize during my walk that it's further than I thought it was. Here's 3246. Adorable. Gosh, it's a pretty day. There's a big H on the front of 3247, so it leads me to think that whoever lives there, their family name starts with H, but they've, maybe from the storms that have gone through, they have leakage on their roof. Of course, you guys know we had Helene skirt by us a month ago, and then 2 weeks after that, Milton. Here's 3245 up on the hill. And 3240. This house we're passing here, I've passed it before at 3234. I forget the man's name, but I know that in the past, oh, what's his name? The park was named after him for a while. Tom. And he worked at the Eckerd as a pharmacist. Oh, it's gone. Oh, that's a bummer. You'll look in old videos I walk by here. There used to be a tree stump there, and they had turned the tree stump into a really cool, like, elf house, but it's gone. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to see that. Well, there's a change. 3230. My friend Jamie, who grew up here in Hapeville, Jamie McDonald, there's 3237 at the corner of Oak Drive and Old Jonesboro. She said to me, you know, I know you've covered all of the streets in Hapeville, which officially I have now. She said, but keep walking. We'd like to see the changes. And that was one of them. His little tree stump house is gone from the front yard. That house is being repainted and re-landscaped on the corner of Oak and Old Jonesboro. It's looking nice. And here we come. We're coming up to the property I was talking about. And it's just been, in the 7 years that I've lived here, it's been so overgrown that you couldn't get a good look at the property. But now, especially now on such a sunny day, we can see this is 3190. This used to be Bevel's Bait Farm. The Bevel family sold fish bait here, and from what I understand, they had a little store in the back. But yeah, now that all of this is cleared out, we can see down here, see, you can even see water now since the storms came through. Remnants of the pond that they used to keep the bait in. It's just this long rectangular pond, so obviously it was cut and put there by the Bevel family. That's my guess anyway. But I often wonder if these folks even know what that was there for. That was it. You can see water in it. Oh, I just find it interesting when you can see remnants of what was here before. I wish I could see it in its heyday, because it's still somewhat overgrown, isn't it? And then across here, I've shown you this before, they're still working on these Jackson and Old Jonesboro, these two homes that used to formerly be one house on the lot, but that's common now. And that's it. It's a brief one today. I've got to go home. I've got to clean the glue off the wigs. The wigs that we use, they're called lace front wigs, and you put them on and there's this lace here. You've got to glue that down, and when you do that for several shows in a row, then you're required to take some time to clean the wigs off. So I'm going to do that, take a shower, shave all this off, because Agatha Boogie doesn't have a beard, does she? And then get all of our stuff loaded into the truck and drive from Hapeville up to Atlanta, where we're going to do this show. That's one of the wonderful benefits of living in Hapeville, of course, is the bedroom community aspect of it. So we get to go have our fun and work up in Atlanta, but then we drive back down here to Hapeville and we enjoy the peace and quiet and my hammock on the front porch on Walnut Street. So it's a lovely place to live in that regard. And just when the weather is this nice, holy monkey, just walking the streets of Hapeville is a treat. All right, it was a brief one, but I hope you enjoyed it. Create yourselves a great day.